When we're trying to determine the convergence of a power series, the first thing we have to do is determine where the center of the power series is, because the convergence rather, converges around the center. And for whatever reason, students often struggle with finding the center of a power series, especially if it looks kind of ugly like this. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you can easily find the center of a power series. So when you look at something like this, it's a bit overwhelming. There's a minus 1 to the n, there's an n factorial, there's an x plus 5 over 2, and then so where is this guy centered? When it's simple, it looks like x minus c to the n, but this is a little bit more complex looking than that. So what do we do exactly? Well, here's a tip that might help. To find the center of a power series, set the inside expression that has the x, that's usually in parentheses, equal to 0, and then solve that. Because in effect, that's what's happening. Like if you have x minus c to the nth power, when you set x minus c equal to 0, that's how you get x equals c. That's how you get a center for a simple power series, but also for a more complicated power series as well. So for example, let's look at this particular one, for example. So the term with x, that's inside the parentheses, has nothing to do with the minus 1 to the n or the n factorial. That plays no bearing on the center of the power series. It's just this x plus 5 divided by 2. So we have x plus 5 divided by 2, set that equal to 0. Multiply both sides by 2, so you'd have x plus 5 equals 0, and then x equals negative 5. This power series is centered at negative 5. Students would often mess this up, and they would say 5 halves or negative 5 halves or something including the 2. The 2 actually has no bearing on the center of this power series. So that's your tip. Set it equal to 0 and then solve for x. To close out this video, let's do some rapid style examples. We'll start easy and then get more complex as we go. All right, where is this guy centered? X minus 1 to the n divided by the square root of n. His center is at x equals 1. How did I know that so quickly? I took the inside of the parentheses that contained the terms that contain x. X minus 1 equals 0, so x equals 1, centered at 1. How about this one? Sum n equals 0 to infinity of 4 minus x divided by 5, all raised to the nth power. Where is this guy centered? Is it 4/5? Is it negative 4/5? Is it 4? Is it 5? Where is it centered? This guy is centered at 4. How did I know that? Well, we took 4 minus x divided by 5, set it equal to 0. So 4 minus x equals 0. And so x equals 4. This one's centered at 4. And how about this one, last one? Negative 1 to the n times 2x minus 1 to the n, all divided by 3 to the n. Really only want to take 2x minus 1 and set it equal to 0. So 2x equals 1, or x equals a half. This power series is centered at a half. Now, why do we care? Why is it so important to know where a power series is centered? Well, it's only after you know where the center is, namely like a half, that's the only way you can know where to begin looking to the left and to the right to see just how far this convergence stretches, with the radius of convergence and ultimately finding the interval of convergence. So anyways, hopefully those little tips there helped you figure out where the center of a power series lies.